Good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tamika Franklin, and I would like to welcome you to the Breakfast of Champions hosted by Maryland Denise Coaching Services. Please feel free to join us Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Our lines open up at 5:30 for those who would like to settle in while having a cup of coffee. While you get your morning started, as you join us in worship in the morning. Please feel free to do that at any cost. Welcome to the people that will be joining us later on after work, whatever time zone that y'all have. We really, really appreciate you guys being there. Good morning to you guys. This morning I have a couple of scriptures, Revelation 3:16 from the King James Version. It will be 3:16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold or hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. In Proverbs 16, verses 3 and 9, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. In his heart, a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. Father God, I come to you right now, God, thanking you, God, for this day, God. Thanking you for the breakfast of champions, God. Thank you, God, for allowing us to get up this morning. Just a new breath of fresh air, God. Thank you, God, that our beds were not our cooling boards, God. That you sent an angel by our doorpost, God, and protected us from the death angels. God, protect us each and every day as we go out and do our due diligence, God. I'm praying for each and every one in our household, God, that our children will be just fine as they go to work, as they go to school, or whatever that they are doing on today, God. Bless each and every one of our sisters and brothers that were on the sound of my voice, God. Give them the desires of their heart and things that they need, God. Thank you, God, for your love that you've shown to us each and every day, God, touching us with the fingertip of love, God, because you didn't have to. And God, for that, we are grateful. God, I'm praying for our husbands as they go out and go to work. God, give them the mindsets to be able to get up and do just what they have to do on each and every day. God, the devil comes each and every day, God, to kill, steal, and destroy, God. God, our minds, our heart, God, dedicate us to what you have us to do. God, give us the strength to just do what we need to do each and every day, God, because some days it's hard for some of us, God. We thank you, God, for being with us, God, and showing us grace and mercy, God. You are the great I am, God. And God, we don't take it lightly. We love you, God, and we bless your holy name for everything that you do for us, God. Give us strength, God. If someone's heart is breaking, God, right now, I ask you, God, to heal it, God. Touch them in their lives, God, where they are hurting, where they need to be healing, God. Give us the words, God, to be said on today that will glorify nothing but your name, God, because everything that we do, God, we want to do just that. We want to magnify you, God. We want to lift you up. We want to praise you, God. We don't want the rocks to have to cry out for us, God, because you gave us tongues, God, to do just that. And God, we love you. We love you right now, God. We love you each and every day. In your son, Jesus' name, amen. I want to go over some of the takeaways that kind of blessed me over the week that we had. First with Shelly this week, she did an awesome job with Nene. And I want to tell Nene that I am super, super proud of her for going through her journey, because weight loss is, that's a tough thing, especially when you're trying to do some things to better yourself. I can remember when I went on my journey, when I had the sleeve, I was the heaviest I ever been. I was 234 pounds. And y'all, I tell y'all that 234 used to do a lot to me. When I didn't gain weight by eating or anything. I got hurt at work and fell. and couldn't work. So I had to stay at home off of my legs, and because the doctor didn't want me on them, I had broke them at work. A lady fell on me and broke them. So I started out 150 pounds and it ended up 234 pounds because I couldn't walk for a whole year. But I'm telling you, that time of gaining weight and sitting at home, the devil played with you. I didn't think my husband was attracted to me. I had a whole lot going on, but I had the gastric sleeve, 2018 meaning. And let me tell y'all, that was the worst feeling ever, to gain weight and not to be able to think that you look good in your clothes. And my whole life changed. My eating process, my thinking process, everything changed. You have to either choose to eat or you have to choose to drink, because you couldn't do both of them at the same time. So that was a little challenging. When you start out with that sleep, you have to eat small portions, and I still eat small portions today. I'm still not where I'm eating a full meal. I also eat like a kid's meal, and that ain't much because you can't eat all of it at one time. So you got to kind of spread it out during the day. But then I want to tell you that my heart was so in love with you because of your due diligence, and whoever's trying to do a weight loss thing, that is a big thing. And I want to know that, let y'all know that everybody here is supporting you, because we want you to be healthy. We want you to feel good about yourself. And I just thank God when I had it, that I had the mindset to just keep going and moving forward, because that is a different type of change in your life. But Nene, you are a beautiful in and out. Anybody who think they're big or whatever y'all want to call yourself, you are beautiful and wonderfully made. I had to tell myself that on a daily basis. I got up every morning and looked in the mirror and told myself that I was beautiful. And it helped me every day just to do just that. And it has its pros and cons, but I am proud of each and every one of my sisters. I love all of y'all. You guys are beautiful. I can't wait to get up in the morning to see each and every one of y'all little profile pics, little heads, or whatever y'all have. And Harlem, he's on a whole different level. I just love that he comes in to be transparent to us as women, because sometimes we don't know how men think. You know, men are so different, and they go through things just like we do. And my thing is, I want to find myself lifting my husband up at any cost I can. I want to lift up anybody, woman, man, or child, because I know how it feels to be down and feel like there are no one's there for you. And because relationships are different, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, whatever kind of relationship that you're having, it is what it is to make it better. Um, I want to make sure I'm finding myself doing what I'm supposed to do, and I don't want to shame God. And I sure don't want to shame Miss Merlin. I don't want to shame none of my sisters at no cost, because I want to live for Christ and I want to do what's right. Sometimes we all fall off the rocker horses. Last night when Miss Merlin had our marriage coach, and we talked about different things, things triggering us when we get angry. We turn into other people, and sometimes I can be John Wick. I can be nice to you for so long, and then all of a sudden, John Wick, and bam, you're gonna get Tarika, and you're not gonna get Tamika. So I've been working on Tarika and keeping Tarika back here and putting Tamika in the forefront so I can bless God. And I'm learning how to forgive, y'all. Thank you, Miss Reba. I'm learning how to forgive people and really mean it when I say that I forgive them. I try not to bring up anything in the past. Like if I'm mad at you and I said that I don't forgave you, I want to move forward and not ever bring it up, because Mr. Harlem said that forgiveness means not to bring it up again and deal with what happened back then and deal with what's going on right now in the forefront and just let things go. You're supposed to be able to let things go in your marriages, friendship, your lifespan, anything. Um, I have started doing a lot of boundaries in my life to make myself a little better. And I have to learn how to set those and stick with it. As Ms. Merlin always tells us, that your yes is be yes and your no's means just exactly what that is, a no. And I'm learning how to not always be the yes girl, because yes girl sometimes is very overwhelming, y'all, to always say yes and never say no. And then you find yourself tired and frustrated, and you just be like, Lord, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. You get kind of standoffish from people, and then you just be just overwhelmed. And that's where I am, but I'm learning how to create some tools and do different things to help myself and not to be overwhelmed, because I don't want to be stressed out. I want to be able to work for God and not be tired in my doing, because you can get overwhelmed and not want to do anything. And so that's not where I want to be. And when Miss Joycelyn yesterday was talking about comparison, friendships, and when she said that control, alt, delete, man, y'all, that opened up a brand new window for me. And it was like, man, she all over here in my house, all over here in my friendship. She's, man, I'm telling you, I enjoyed yesterday's conversation, because when she said for you to find who you are in Christ, who you are as an individual, I mean, just, I had to think about that thing, y'all. Who are you, Tamika, as an individual? Are you where God wants you to be at the moment? Because we can't stay as a baby forever. We got to be able to minister to somebody else. We can't just be weak at all times. So I've tried daily to lift myself up. I try to listen to things that keep my spirit realm going, y'all. Just not where I'm down and out or whatever. So I'm just trying to keep rooting and resolving issues and securing myself and staying focused to my uniqueness. Miss Nan is wise above all her years. And I thank God, because she has this strong mama, Miss Peggy. Miss Peggy lifts you up when you're torn down. I can remember when I used to be at school, someday I used to come to work from work and then come to school there at the college, and yeah, my spirit will be a little bit broken, but baby, when you see Miss Peggy, you smiling again. She done made you feel like you're standing on top of the clouds. She did just that. And I thank God for letting me cross her path. I thank God for letting me cross y'all paths, because I got to meet y'all when we was at our sister. Oh my God, that meant so much to me, to actually put a face with a name, and the hugs, the genuine love that we had, y'all, it was beautiful. And I enjoyed that. Miss Merlin had said on yesterday that we all struggle with compassion and then with complaining. Sometimes I find myself complaining, and it ain't a good thing. She said complaining is an unacceptable form of communication. I said, wow. When you look at that, you be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to do better. And when you know to do better, you try to do it no matter what. I mean, she said we need to use our energy on something good. We need to be looking at things in a different lens so we don't have to conflict. I was like, man, my God, my God. I'm just so grateful to get up every morning, to get nuggets, to get up, start my morning, because if I don't have calls in the morning, it's like my day be a little sluggish. And then when we take breaks, I'll be like, oh Lord, why is Miss Berlin doing these breaks? You know, we got to get our morning coffee. this is my coffee. I don't drink coffee, y'all. Now I don't do all of that. It makes me jittery. So my coffee is coming in here with y'all, getting my nuggets, listening to my sisters, working things out. This is my therapy session. This is all of that. And I want to make sure that I can do all of that and have fun with you guys and do it well. Let me see what y'all saying in this thing. Amen. You're doing a great job. Yes, ma'am. Forgiveness is definite. Yes, ma'am. This is my coffee too. Yes, ma'am, Ladrie, but this is definitely my coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't, I tried to one time to drink coffee, but that's not my friend. Yeah, that is not my friend at all. Do anybody have anything that they would like to add, say about what happened on yesterday with Miss Jocelyn in our call? I know it was definitely experience for each and every last one of the communication was definitely that. Great. Anybody got something to have to say? Tonette, I see your mic is open. You have something you want to say? Kamisha, do you? I see some of y'all mics are open. Well, yesterday was definitely a good thing, and Miss Jocelyn is a very beautiful young lady, and she has a great personality. It's good to get perspective from younger women as well, to give advice, because sometimes as older women, we be stuck in our ways. Good morning, Kamisha. And the younger women can give us the different tips as well, because they are very knowledgeable these days. And so I enjoy listening to Miss Jocelyn talk and expressing and giving different things that to uplift us in the morning time, because I know she could be doing anything else other than being at Breakfast with Champlain at 5:30 in the morning. She's young and vibrant, but I thank God that she saw fit to come over here with us and talk to us about fashion and whatever God lays on our heart. I enjoy each and every last one of our speakers. Our very own Shelley. She is very uplifting. She's transparent. She gets to tell us everything. But I tell y'all, just to be in the room with you guys and we all express and talk about our marriages and everything. Miss Felicia, she's sweet. When you see Miss Felicia, she's just what she is, Miss Felicia. She's sweet, she's kind. She always have a kind word on her lip. But I thank God for us all being here and opening up and be able to talk and get things out and express. Yes, ma'am, Miss Ladrie. But yesterday was very powerful. I talked about it at work with some of the co-workers. I got them going on our YouTube app, subscribing and all type of things. And I send out an email, not email, text message them the link. So we'll see if the room start growing some, and we'll be able to talk and get things out, because this is a very encouraging environment. Anybody got anything they want to express?
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Tatim.
Hi, honey. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Good morning, sisters. I just want to thank you for sharing your testimony. You don't when they say God got us covered, because honey, you don't look like what you've been through. You don't look like what you've been through. Lord, I would have never assumed that story, Miss Tamika. And I just thank you for sharing it. It encouraged me, because I know how it feels to see them numbers on the scale that you've never seen before, and how the enemy can attack your whole mind, your thoughts, your confidence, and all of that, and steal your joy. And so I just thank you for sharing that. It's been a powerful week, and I'm just like you said, I don't know what I would do without my sisters in this morning call. It helps, as we go on our daily journey. It's our coffee, it's our strength, and it's our seeking God in the morning, giving our 10%, as Coach says. And I just wanted to say that, and just the powerful words that have gone out. I pray that we all just stay encouraged, and just I look to the future to see what God is doing, because I know He's doing a mighty work. And I know we get anxious and sometimes frustrated and wait in the waiting season, but I just
Yes.
believe God that greater is coming, and I think this is all preparation for it. So I just wanted to thank you and tell you you look beautiful, and I would have never known that. So thank you for sharing that. Encouraged me today.
Welcome. You are so welcome. Yes, ma'am. It is very encouraging here in this room. Just to get on here in the morning and be able to sit among like women is so refreshing because I'm telling you, Miss Kathy and Shirley and I mean, it's just all different kind of ages and wisdom in here, and the love. Then even when you see them out in public, it's the love that we get, the hug. Sometimes you just need a hug, and when you get up in the morning, you come in here, you just want to see a smile and people talking and knowing that we can put one foot in front of the other and keep going, no matter what we got going on or what we're facing, we can always get through it one day at a time. And I learned how to just also not grow weary and doing well. Sometimes I used to get mad, be like, I don't want to do for nobody else. And then I had to think about that thing. What if God didn't want to do anything for me? So I thank God for being in this room with y'all because it helps me not to be selfish. It helps me to think before I speak. It reminds me of the love that God has for me, and it lets me know that I have people on this line who actually care about me. I might not ever see all of y'all, but I know that you're here in this room and I can talk to you guys and send out text messages. I gotta do better with that, sending out text messages and talking to my sisters. I gotta do better in that area, but it just feels so good to be around y'all. And when she talk about her marriage and all kind of different things like that, it make you feel like I'm not alone. Somebody's out there, they know. And it's the courage and words that everybody give, and especially the nuggets that Miss Marilyn give, and listening to everybody's testimony and do just talking makes you feel good in the morning time. As my grandson say, I love it here. I love it here, y'all. I love it here. And I just thank God for everything that He's going to do for us. This morning, I'm going to be bringing in Miss Peggy Roxbury. She really don't need an introduction to come in the room, y'all, because she's beautiful and bright and brilliant and wonderful. We love her to death. But today she will be speaking on stop trying to look for the right person and become the right person. That was deep. Often we always try to find somebody else and look for the right person. First, we got to become the right person. So, Miss Peggy, if you ready to take off running, we ready to have you, and you look absolutely beautiful this morning.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
it. You're welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Of course, you know I love you. I'm a natural lover. And that subject that we're talking about today, I thought about that because, everything has a story behind it. So I figured if I talked about that, maybe it would open, or someone probably have already done this or need to go through this, need to see this. So, trying to, stop trying to look for the right person and become the right person yourself. But a lot of times we really don't know how to do that. And a lot of times it just really hadn't hit your head. So where this subject here made me go through a journey. So I'm really reaching out at like relationships. And I'm really talking about us girls, females, the things that we go through. So, I used to look at guys like all these different faces, but if I date him, he'd be the same guy. And I got fed up with that. So, and then I started thinking like, why are you still just dating? Just sit down and figure you out. And this was like years ago. So I just quit dating. I said, I even moved away. I did just like my daughter did. I sold everything out of my house and I got rid of everything except the cars and my kids. So I moved and I rebought furniture and I did all of this stuff. But see, that's just a little tiny piece of it. You have to do your inner self. Your inner self is what's going on. It's you. And I said that, people like in my house, you can't go to a room and I don't have a mirror. I look at me and I take a lot of pictures of me all the time because I'm looking at me. I'm not looking at me for my, I guess you would say cuteness. When you get a certain age, the cute thing just vanishes. I mean, you start looking at like health. You start trying to be healthy, and healthy brings out your beautiful skin, your beautiful hair, your beautiful everything that you see. So, and I learned that through steps in life. So what I did, I just quit blaming everybody, quit faulting everybody. And this was like in my 20s. I started figuring this stuff out. So what I did, I started looking at me, and me. That's who I started looking at. Because you can't blame people for the choices that you make. Everything is on you, really. You have to get yourself together, your inner self. And in order to get your inner self together, you have to get with God. And in order to get with God, you have to get away from all that environment that you was in. You have to go to a quiet place or move to a quiet place, get in an area where you can think, get in an area where you can talk to God all by your lonesome self. Once you learn how to get by yourself, talk to God every day. See, I used to think that you talk to God, you pray in the morning, you pray at night. But see, as you grow, you pray and talk to God all day long. See, he become a live living person with you all day long. So once you pack the idea that you're carrying God with you, because you got to have him, because when you look at the people that you do know, friends, family, whoever or whatever, that's the wrong chemical reaction. That's not what you're looking for. So you have to fill out who you are. You have to kind of stay away and do you. So what I did, I moved away, not out of Tyler. Back in the day, it used to be on the outskirts of Tyler. So I live to this day. I have a home out here on the outskirts of Tyler. So I got my two kids. We moved out here, and I started doing me. Because I started dating. I married, divorced. And then I said, well, I don't want nothing else like that. You just say that, but action speaks louder than words. So what you have to do, you call yourself dating, you're not ready to date. You're really not ready. But you don't know it because your head hard. You're gonna do it anyway, right? So you go out there and you get a guy. You don't know if he's nice or he's not nice, or if he's what you want or if you don't want. You got to know who you are. So I sat down one day, and it's really true because it's it's in the Bible. If you write it out where someone else can understand your vision, and I'm not saying it exactly like the Bible said, but it's there where you write it out what you want, and you ask God what you want, and He'll give it to you. So what I did, I wrote down all the things about me, all the things that I like. I know I love the Lord. I know that. So what does that mean? I need to at least get somebody that want to go to church, that want to grow in the Lord. I needed somebody like that. Okay, I'm a huggy, lovey type of person. Now, why would I go get and talk and date with somebody that didn't care anything about nothing like that? Okay, I don't care anything about arguing, fussing and fighting. I don't like that. I like a quiet house. And I like to sit down and talk like two adults. So why would I get somebody that want to argue, fuss and fight? Okay, I enjoy paying my bills. I enjoy working, paying bills. Why would I get a guy when bills are due? He ain't paying the bills because he mad at me. You got to look at you. Why would I, go and get a guy? I know I love helping others. Don't want me to help others. Now, if I know I love you and you jealous because I'm working with guys And I got to put up with that every day because you think everybody like me. Listen, I may think I'm cute, 29 and fine, but everybody don't think that. I may think I'm cute, and every guy out there where I work may think I'm cute too. That doesn't mean he like me. But if my other half think that, why would I date somebody like that? Why would I even marry somebody like that? You see? So you have to and I know I care. When I say care, care to me is big. Care doesn't only mean I care about my husband and my children. Care mean I just love everybody. I care for everybody. If I'm working, I love to work with people that I love. I know that everybody not gonna love you like you love them, but if I stay and know my place, that's another thing on these jobs. Just know your place. I used to have a program at Texas College called NASA PACE. I used to tell those students, you guys gonna know your place in NASA PACE. So you have to know your place at work, know your place at home, know your place with your family. You have to know this. Learn who you are. Learn who you are. That way, when you start dating or working, you'll know you. And you can control who you are, especially at your house, especially who you date, especially who you marry. So you don't really have to be bound down with somebody you got caught up with. Oh, I'm keeping him so he can pay these bills. Oh, I can deal with his fussing and fussing and fussing because one thing he gonna do, he gonna pay these bills and he's gonna take care of these kids. Well, I'm of a different seed. I don't care how many bills you pay. You're not coming in this house screaming. I'm not gonna hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to work all day and come home and have to listen to you because you griping, you fussing. When you get ready to go to your job, you don't want to go to your job carrying that stuff to work, and you don't want to bring that stuff from your job and bring it home to your family. That's why I say fix you first. Do you first. Once you get you straight, you know all these criteria about you. And when you start talking to a guy or a date, trying to date somebody, want to be married again, and all that type of stuff, you know he can see, you can see. It doesn't take but 2 seconds for you to figure out no. So, and I'm a no person. So you have to figure out who you are and don't just sit around and just think that, oh, he's going to change. You can't change nobody. You can't change no man. Man can't change you either. So that's why I say you have to fix yourself. I mean, if you like a nice man with money, a man that you don't have to worry about how he look if you come on your job, a man that you know for a fact is right there as a team player, gonna help you pay your bills. If you know what you want, know what you like, a man on Sunday morning, you are gonna be at church. A man you can see crying, him and the Lord got a relationship. You know what? All the things that you want, God will give it to you. But you gotta help God like God gotta help you. I mean, you got to take one step, God will take two. So, once you get into the groove of knowing who you are, it's okay to let those guys go by. I mean, in my day, I've seen a lot of attorneys and a lot of anything that you want to name. I could have dated doctors and married and worked with them and all that stuff. But you got to know who you are. You got to have yourself together. I mean, if you want to be like, for example, it was a certain job. I guess I won't call it that because there's a lot of people doing this stuff. So it was a job that I said, and if I die, now when I was 19, I was this person working. And I got thinking, I said, Lord have mercy. If I die, I don't want that on my obituary. I don't want to be that. That was in my head at 19, 20 years old. And I knew at that time, I better stay in school, or if I left school, I better go back to school so I can be successful like I wanted to be. I wanted to be who I wanted to be. So once you get yourself together on the inside of who you are, what you want, but not only what you want with you, it's what you want, the environment that you want to be in, it's the people that you want to be around, it's the man that you want to date or marry, even with family. I talked to you guys last week about I love my family. Now I got time now. I can go be with my family. But it's a strategic plan that I have in my life. It's like I know my sister dad that used to drink and show out. Well, guess what? People say the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Well, it's not her daughter. It's another niece, in the family. But just like my sister. So, it's still family. And you still have to love them. So you plan, well, I'm going to go to this party. when people look, stay there a couple of hours, do all the dancing, give you $50 to the birthday person, keep it rolling. And you won't be upset and mad. You get to hear what happened, like I told you before. And even with relationships, when you start talking, like even with your children, you have to talk to your children. When you see your children turn and flip side out, you just kind of move forward. And you just kind of go silent for a minute. They'll come back, but you choose what you want. If you don't want to deal with that type of stuff, you don't. With a man, once you get married, you stuck. I mean, we stuck with these husbands once we get married. That's what we think. But get stuck with the right one. Make sure he love you like you love him. Make sure he enjoy you being beautiful. Make sure he encourage you to look good. You encourage him also. But you can still do something like what I did. I was smart enough to this marriage I'm in now, I was smart enough to look at him real good for 5 years, watched him like he watched me. Men watch you, but we fall in love so quick, we don't get to watch them. So we gonna have to watch him just like he watches us. He watches us. Men look at us. They watch and see what we're doing. They looking to see if we pay our bills on time. They looking to see if we got a car, if we got a house. I mean, a lot of times if you ain't careful, if you're trying to date, if he figure you got a car and a job, he ready to move in, right? So that's what they do. So, but you got to know who you are. You don't want no man wanting you just because you got a car and a house and a job. You want to be able to have someone that you can look at yourself and say, well, I've gone through my life. I've seen all of this stuff. I don't want any more of this. I don't want any more of that. So you got to go through life and see. That's why you can't just grasp because he's cute, because he's tall, because he can dress, all this wonderful stuff about a man. You have to actually make sure the inner side of him sort of match the inner side of you. See if he love. See if he touchy feeling. See if he care. See if he's helpful, a helpful kind of guy, caring kind of guy. See if he like to work. See if he like to grow. See if he like to have nice things. See if he, just see if he likes some of the things that you like. You kind of have to have that compatibility with him, or else, it's just not going to work. You'll be stuck, like in there. Oh, he like to do this. I like to do that. Well, no, you want to be able to know, even if you are, like my husband is in another country at the moment, but I still know him and he know me. You know, we don't have to be just right there. You got to understand, understanding beats it all. You got to know who you are and you got to know what you're marrying, who you're dating. But you got to impact yourself first. Once you do you, once you got you figured out, you'll walk through. You'll walk it through because, I mean, even on my job, one day a lady told me, she said, Miss Roxbury, you walk like you hold the world. What the heck I do? I'm holding me. I'm holding me. I am holding me. Nobody, no matter how many degrees you have on your job, is any better than you are. No one is any better than you are. If you don't have a degree, ain't nobody better than you. I mean, in God's eye, we're all the same. So you might as well learn how to love everybody. Get your inner self together and everything else will fold. God will turn around and bring people in your life that is just like you. You won't have to deal with that other, I call it stuff. You don't have to deal with it. Other people, other stuff. And you can just shy away. I have, even in family, I come from a huge family, but on a daily basis, I have a really small family that we communicate every day on the phone. All of us on the phone at the same time. They're calling in. We call it the main line, and we talk every day. But those are the people that I know that are closest to me, and that we keep up with each other, make sure everybody is safe and sound and everything is going fine in your lives at this moment, because nobody lives close to nobody. You see? So you have to get yourself together. Don't blame the man that you're dating or the man that you are married to even right now. I figured it out, but it took me a minute, but I figured it out. You have to do you. If you do you, I promise you, your life moving forward would be great. I mean, I figured it out at an earlier age, but I did that, I guess, through God, because being a single parent, You don't ask the person if they saved, because you better know nobody's there with you but the Lord when things that hurt your heart is coming through. Or when you trying to make it, you trying to climb up, you trying to go to college, you trying to raise your kids. You got to love the Lord, because he's the only person there that if your light bill is due, and Lord have mercy, you don't know where that money came from, but the light bill got paid. Your house note is due, and you don't know where it's coming from, but the Lord knows. And you never miss a beat, and nobody else is around. So you get to know who God is at an early age if you have any type of struggles coming through. So as you come through life, when you meet a guy, the first thing hit you, if y'all fall out, you be like, man, the Lord took care of me, but long before I met you. So what? The door is wide open, like that. You'll be able to talk plenty noise. And that's the position all women need to be in. I mean, if you want a degree, get you a degree. Get around people that care about education, love education, that will help you and support you and hold your hand and bring you through and stay with you till you graduate. There are people out there in the world like that. You know, everything that you want, that's great. God will send somebody out there to support you. It's a support system out there that's bigger than all of us. And nobody knows who that person would be, but God will bring you through. God will bring you through all of this stuff. But you got to hold on to his unchanging hand, because nobody else, I'm talking about like human beings, you can't work with them when you're trying to work with you. You can't work with them when you're trying to work with you, because, you got to have that quiet time with God. Let God pull you through, and he'll guide you through those people. Even to this day, um, I'm in my 60s now, but I still live through letting and allowing God to just pull me through things. I don't just jump into things. I mean, I get lots of invites to do things. I get lots of stuff like that. But you better know I don't snap and say, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'm not quick at that. That yes stuff I heard Miss Franklin talking about, it's no good. I've always, even with my children, if you ask either one of them today, what's my favorite word when they were growing up, it was no. I've always said no, no, no. Why? Because I always wanted to wait. I've always been that person, wanted to wait. I wanted to think about it. And then I wanted to look at the long range. What is the outcome of that? What could happen, if she do this, what could happen? You have to be like thinking on your feet at all times when you're raising the children. So when you're raising yourself, a lot of times you have to go back and raise yourself too, because you're not you be thinking you're grown because you're 18, 20, 30, sometimes even 40. You may think you're grown. You're not really grown yet. You're not really mature yet. I mean, until you can stand up. And I told my kids, y'all can't leave this house until y'all can pay your own, because they want to go to an apartment instead of staying in one of these houses we bought them. If you can pay that rent, yes, you can move. If you can pay that car note, yeah, you can go buy your new car. I mean, you can pay that light bill over there. Yep, you sure can get in a house. So you have to be, as an adult, in your 25, 35, 45, 55, you have to be able to stand up on your own 2 feet. I mean, if you can pay your own house note, pay your own car note, all of your utilities yourself, make sure you go to the doctor, keep your health up, go to the doctor, get a check on yourself every year. I mean, go to the dentist. I mean, go to the eye doctor so you can see. I mean, take care of you. When you can take care of you, it's going to be easy for you to see what's compatible to you, but you can't see what's compatible to you if you sick, if you can't see, you're unhealthy. You can't, you're not trying to take care of yourself. So you got to get yourself together. And then once you get yourself together, with all of these inner things that we're talking about, you'll be able to move forward. But you got to make sure you're in check. I mean, health-wise is very important. To see is very important. As you get older, you'll understand that. You'll understand that taking care of you, that's been around a long time. You take care of yourself. I mean, when I got a 74-year-old sister, when she's somewhere else, people think that when she go to work, she's still working. And when she get these new little jobs that she's tackling, they can't believe she's 74 years old. So why? It's because when it's time for her to go to the doctor, she goes. You're responsible for you. And that way, when you looking at a man, guess what? You look at a man and say, well, is he healthy? Is he taking care of his health? Is he going to the eye doctor so he can see? Is he working? Do he have anything? Is he able to take care of himself? Is he working? Not is he working? Does he like working? Does he enjoy paying his bills? Do his cell phone bill get cut off? You know, you got to think all this crazy, weird stuff, but it's good stuff for you to know, because if you don't have all these things, this knowledge, this simple knowledge, all this simple stuff that you don't know, that you didn't try to look at before or didn't know to look at before, that stuff will get you in trouble. So just be aware of making sure that you do you first. And if you don't find, and it's hard out there, you know, you're not attracted to a lot of guys in your area a lot of times, because they can see and tell that, you know, you're a commodity, you're a product that spends money on you. And if he that guy that don't like spending money on you know, on things of you, um, he'll know not to talk to you at a sense, unless you that easy kind of person that hungry, you know, they call it hungry for a man, and you just want him to be with you. I advise you don't do that. Just wait on God, and God will give you your king. All you have to do is get yourself together, ask God what you want, everything that you want. If you want love, you know, you write down the type of love, write the stuff down. I mean, I have written God so many letters, and I go back now and climb on top of the cabinet and open those letters up. And Lord have mercy, you know, God have gone and gave me that and more. If you ask God, He will give you. And I'm done. I'm done preaching. Thank you for listening, and I hope you got something, you know, out of this, without thinking that, you know, it's not such a great idea, because I need you to take some of these nuggets and put them in your purse, and utilize them, and you'll see how helpful it is, especially when you know God come first. When you know that, everything smooths through. I'm done. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Excellent message this morning, Miss Peggy, and you always come through with the right words. You know, it's so important that we, as the older women, that's what the Bible says, that we are to take care of the younger women and teach them with, you know, knowledge and wisdom and understanding, and to be great examples to them. And that's even sharing our ups, our downs, our flaws, you know, and then also show them how to get on track, you know. And I love your messages, you know, because I know it has not always been easy in life. You know, we learn these valuable nuggets through trial and error, you know. And it to me, it doesn't matter how many times you fall or whatever, it's that you get back up again, that you learn something from whatever, you know, you have gone through in life. And I pray that every day that the ladies come in the room, that I'm not going to say the ladies, I'm talking about we, come in the room, we find something that, you know, fits what it is that we've been talking to God about, you know, because when you pray, you know, God will answer, you know, but you have to come in with a heart of expectation, you know. And I think about some of the things that you're saying, and, you know, how I apply that to my life. I think it is very important that you make sure that you start loving on you first, because when you start loving on you first, you show people how to treat you, you know. um when you're taking care of your own bills, you know, you don't go out there and subscribe to something that's opposite from what you are. That's what the Bible calls being double-minded. He said, don't think that you're going to receive anything from God when you have a double mind. You're doing one thing, but you're accepting people doing other things. I'm not talking about loving people. I'm talking about accepting people to do life with you in the space that you're in. You know, I think we have to be a little bit more cautious, you know, about our journey, because we have children that are walking beside us. We have our nieces, our nephews that are walking beside us, and they really need some examples in life. The world is showing them so many things right now, and they need some people that they can trust, that they can believe in, that's gonna, not just do it in words, but they're gonna show it in deed also, because I think that that speaks louder than anything. And I pray that we all will take our rightful place and, do it for you. Let's get our lives together for us first, and then we can be of great service to other people on the other side. So I appreciate this message. I'm going to definitely take it all to heart, like I always do. And Miss Peggy, we appreciate you so much. I just I sometimes, I wonder, God, how did you choose these? How did you choose these people? How did you know who we needed in the room? You know, and because you put the perfect people in here to come in and share, and they're so willing, they're so eager to be in here. And I just think about the prayers of the righteous; they do avail much. So, let us all take heart. Let us know that, what God has planned for each of us, He will bring it to pass. And when you get stuck along the way, He'll bring some Peggy's along. He'll bring some Nancy's along. He'll bring some Miss Shelley's along. He'll bring some Harlan's along. He'll bring some Maryland's along. And one day it's going to be you guys sitting up here in these chairs, being able to share with others. So thank you so much, Peggy, for always being such a great example, and showing our ladies even how to position themselves, how to poise themselves, and how to look good. You here it is early in the morning, and you're dressed for success. And that's what it's all about. It's not about, well, the sun ain't up yet, I don't need to put no clothes on, I don't put no makeup on. My saying is, when you open up your eyes, you ought to get up and wash your face, brush your teeth, and comb your hair. That's because right. You're getting ready to get in the presence of God, not just people, but you're getting in the presence of God. And I thank you for being such a great, great example to us all, Peggy, each and every day. So that's all I had to say.
Yeah, going through life, I can give you a good example right quick. I was single, so I said, I was talking over the phone to two different guys. And this is the honest truth. I invited one to my yard. I have a swing in my yard. So I was outside and came over and he sat down. And he looked around the yard. He looked around the yard and he said, "Dang, Peggy, you don't need a man for nothing." So I said, okay. This is first and last time looking at me. This is first and last time looking at me. So that next weekend, totally different guy, sat in that same chair. He said, "Wow, Peggy, you don't need a man for anything." And I said to myself again, don't need him either. So you got to really know, if you got a house and if you got a car, it can be wood, brick, or this is just a wooden house. If you got it, you need to see what he got. So the guy I'm married to right now, I was so fed up to when I met him. I talked to him about 4 or 5 years. But what I was looking at, I was like, you know what? I looked at me, my makeup within me, and I said, what can I do for a man? What can I do for a man? And I thought about all the things I could provide him with. Then I turned around and I said, well, can he do me like that? I said, heck, I can put him in a house and it don't even have to be the house I'm living in. I can put him in a car and don't have to be the car I'm driving. I started just naming stuff. And I said, can he do that for me? So you pretty much have to get someone on your level, but you got to build yourself up. And it doesn't happen overnight. You have to back yourself up and just start over. And, I've had to fall down. And this is what I tell my kids. In life is like this here. That 20, 30, 40, you may fall way down. But then you'll come back up and you'll fall down again. But then at some point in your life, it'll go right across, everything works. Everything, because that means you done figured it out. Once you figure it out, everything just goes level. You don't go down in the dump. Because you've already seen that. and you already expect that not to happen. So you're not going to look at things to happen unless it's great. You're going to look at things not to happen that have happened. You don't want that anymore. So you don't want guys that you done dated, different phases with the same guy. You don't want to do that. You know what you want by now. That's why I say back up and do you, and then you really know what you want. You want somebody that's compatible, that want to do the things that you want to do. If you love traveling, you want to get on an airplane and fly away sometime. You want a guy that want to travel too. You want to go on vacation. You want somebody to go on vacation too. If you want a guy that like to sit down and just read books because you like to read books, you want somebody kind of compatible to you. So you just kind of have to be very, very strategic and plan your life. Do you, and make sure you hold on to the steering wheel when the rest of your life. Hold on to your peace. Don't let nobody take your peace after you done build it. Let no one take your peace and your joy, because you got to have that. You got to, if you had quiet time with Jesus before you met somebody, you still need that quiet time. When you get with Jesus, you still need it. I mean, he ain't going nowhere, so please don't leave him. So you have to stay with God. And that way you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. Just hang out with God at all times, and he'll put good people in your environment, and you won't have to worry about it. That's why I said at some point in your life, everything will go smooth, because you have already been there and done that stuff. You won't do that anymore. And life gets greater and greater. And the old saying, greater later, it does get greater later, because you know better. You don't earn your PhD and that stuff. You don't want that no more, okay? So that's pretty much it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Miss Peggy, I swear I tell you, this message this morning just touched my soul this morning. Just the wisdom that that you just bring to the room every time you speak. And it's particularly this message is really, really good. It just reiterates to me that, you have to know yourself, know what you want, how you want to be treated, and how not treated, and just know who you are, especially when you out dating and things like that. And then when you date, don't just settle and go with the first person or whatever. Just just know who you are, and know and like I put in the chat, know your peace. So when you do have a mate come in, y'all equally yoked and come together and be each other's peace.
Yeah, you want somebody to absolutely understand that. And you also, like I get up every morning, and I'm not a gown person. I'm not a bed person. So I automatically gets up every morning and I put something on. I get up every morning and get dressed. So if you could get into a habit of just waking up, even if you're not going anywhere, just wake up and feel good and look good for you. And like I said when I first started talking, I got mirrors in every room. I want to see me. A lot of times I can look at my complexion or look at my eyes and tell whether or not I'm sick or not, or whether or not I need to go to the doctor or not. I can look at that stuff coming. And so, a lot of times you need to just look at you. So if you get up and you kind of like beautify yourself and feel good about you and what you look like, your day pretty much gonna go pretty good, because you done already done you before you left the house. You ain't got no hindrance when you go out the door. You go to work, you just gonna feel good because you look good every day. And when you walk out the door, you don't have to look in the mirror no more, because you already know how you look. You already know that you look presentable to yourself. If you look good to you, you look good for the world. You're ready to go to work, you're ready to go to the grocery store, like me, ready to take grandkids to school. You just do stuff. It's natural. So it becomes natural. Get someone that enjoy. You can grab his hand and say, let's pray. Simple stuff. The simplest things in life, you can carry on and be the most joyful, happiest person in the world. The most simplest things in life. It doesn't take a whole lot of money. And it doesn't take a whole lot of time. You don't have to have all of his time. Have some space, because you know what? God is a jealous God. Give God a lot of your time. Give him some of your time. I mean, I love this program because I can actually brag and say that I can wake up and not only do I pray, but I can wake up and get with a praying family every morning before I leave out the door. So I'm blessed. So look at the greatness of the free, and it's free. Look at the greatness things, this godly free stuff, and enjoy that stuff and look at it, and watch how God take care of you. That's what God does, and you'll stay happy most of the time because you're doing the right thing for you. And if you're doing the right things for you, you do right things for others, it'll spread.
Yes, I agree. Yes, Miss Peggy. That's why I just love it. It's just good. Just this whole topic this morning, and just you, like I said, was just full of wisdom with it. So
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Good morning, Ma. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Hey, Nan.
I know you are good. You know, I wake up and if I don't talk, because I wake up and get on the show and I don't talk, so I sound a little bassy like Barry White. But you were spitting, Ma. I really, really enjoy what you have spoken about this morning. And what I wanted to add on is that I can remember when I went through my divorce, you didn't tell me, you allowed me to go through the process, and because I'm that kid that had to go all the way around the loop to find out all the food and towels on Broadway. And you allowed me that opportunity to figure that out. And I've learned to be comfortable in my singleness, just as you're speaking about, because I do focus a lot on myself, like I'm like you, I like mirrors too. But in my home, I didn't have mirrors. So that's why, what I was looking like, I was like anybody, at any given moment, any given time. But I never looked at myself in the morning. And I noticed that when I got away from something, that I wasn't being myself, I came back to myself. I'm used to seeing mirrors in my house too. I'm used to looking at myself every day too. I'm used to knowing who I am. And when you spend that time by yourself, you allow me that moment to get by myself, spend that time by myself, spend that time with God, and wake up early in the morning like you do too. I used to wonder why you get up so early. Now I know why you up so early. You doing me. Now I understand why you was always me all the time. But it wasn't from a selfish place. It was from a place of, do I need to take my mic? No? Yes? Maybe? Can you hear me, Ma?
No, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just read the message. But no, you allow me to do that. And so I do wake up and people do, it's like they say, how do you perceive yourself? And people do perceive you the way that you perceive yourself. And if you don't look at yourself, you don't know what you look like. And so when somebody else tell you what you look like, well, you ain't got no choice but to believe it because you ain't looked at yourself for the day. You don't know nothing about yourself. And finding yourself as a woman before you get involved with anybody, even your friends, I'm learning it's very, very important because even friends will throw you aside, even family will throw you aside, and a man, he gonna throw you to the side too. So if you put yourself first and take care of yourself first, then you're better for everybody that you're involved with, as opposed to just waking up and throwing on your clothes, not checking yourself and just rushing and doing everything. So if you're outside, you're looking like who did it and how come. But I enjoyed you this morning. You were spitting, and I just thought I'd let you know that you were spitting. You did an excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Miss Carter, if you can hear me, your mic is on, baby.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. But no, yeah, that is very important. You have to first, even before I look at me, I guess I wake up with God on my mind all the time. So I wake up and I do a little praying and thinking about the family and pray about all my siblings and my children and all that kind of stuff. But it's just a joy to be able to come in on this program, like I said, for free. God, I'm kind of tickled at myself for saying that, but God is so free and he's always there. And we just need to understand that he's there. And you know, if you get up, you don't have to go shopping and buy a lot of clothes and stuff like that. I always did add-ons. I mean, from junk shops, garage sales, you know, and go to the mall or wherever and buy, and online mostly, and order something to wear. But as far as cleanliness, I mean, if you get up and you clean yourself up, it doesn't have to be new. Just clean yourself up, groom your hair a little bit. I mean, every day, kind of like what Miss Pettigrew was saying earlier. Just get up and do you. Just do you. Give yourself a 30 minutes. I can't do 5 minutes. You know, throw on a dress, brush my hair down, and run out the door. I have to actually look at me and make sure everything is intact. Because if something is out of order, when you go to work or when you get to a certain place, no one is going to tell you. They already, you know, they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you nothing. You know, they feeling themselves about other things going on. So, but it's not their fault. It's yours. You look at you and you take care of you, and you walk yourself through, and you know, carry yourself in a way. Because one thing I did notice, what you do coming up the hill with your children see you. They see you. That's why I don't know if y'all remember the word shack. That's why I ain't never shack. I ain't never shack with no man, because I didn't want my kids shacking. I mean, they come around, they bring some boy around here. If he think he like her well enough, and he gonna be hanging out at her house with my nose itself, he gonna marry her or move on. You just don't hang out and shack out like that, because I just feel like my girls wasn't gonna get their blessing. And I feel like if he wants you bad enough, he ought to marry you. You know, if he wants you bad enough, he ought to marry you. Or if you're not ready to be married, let God be your, be your in the house man. I mean, God will take care of you in there. You know, let him go someplace else, because if he was worth it, he'd come in there and do what a man. I'm acting like Harlan now. He'd come in and do what a man's supposed to do, because it's a difference. It's a difference. Big difference, It's a big difference. But I'm not gonna hold y'all. It's 6:51, and I know everybody got to get ready for work and get out of here. And thank you all for listening, and I'm glad I got something to bring to the table, to bring, so you all can, long before y'all get the age I am, you'll already know this stuff. You already have your PhD in it, so you'll be prepared. I didn't have, anyone. I had parents, but they wasn't, I guess, as detailed as I am, and I'm probably not as detailed as my kids are. But you give your best shot to every lady that you can. If you're a lady, you just give it to them.
Good morning, Miss Peggy. You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Brought it back to a remembrance of my mom used to always get on to me about my appearance, because back in my 20s or so, I used to just go out the house and PJs, ball cap, just to go to the store and stuff. And she used to always say, Tanisha, you need to do better about your appearance, going out in public. And I'm like, oh, mama, I ain't looking for nobody. She was like, it's not about looking for nobody. It's about looking good for yourself, your own appearance. You don't know who's looking at you. And so,
right.
I surpassed it or whatever. But now it's like, I get what my mom's saying. So, I take my time now, and I get up and I get myself together. And I always send her pictures now. So every time, I get myself together, I'll send her pictures. She was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's my baby girl right there. So
Right.
I sent her a picture yesterday, and she was like, you know what? I'm glad of your growth. I'm happy of your growth. Every picture that you send me, I just see it in you. And she's like, I'm so happy that you took those nuggets and listened to me. So just listening to you and you dropping more nuggets in my bucket, I just want to give you your kudos on it. And you just look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Appearance matters, because I feel like to this day, I guess I know for a fact, I had a girlfriend. She was already, when I got to work, she was already had been there 15 years. And one thing, the rule of thumb that we had to do on my job, we had to look presentable every day. We have to look professional every day. And we had a dress code. And she was like, I'm not, I'm not dressing. I mean, if you want me to dress better, you're gonna have to give me more money. And that's the language that she had going. And actually, she lost her job because she wouldn't dress. And in my line of my life and in my line of work, I've actually not because I had degrees, but it's because I think it was a mixture of my personality, but not only my personality, but putting on clothes every day matters. And people know that you're going to look presentable every day on your own, they'll put you on frontline jobs. So I've always been put on a frontline job because I am going to do me before I leave the house. And they knew that. So when you dress, it matters. You're not, and I get up and do things for me. I mean, every day I do things for me. I don't go out looking for nobody, hope nobody looking for me, you know? So it's not really about, it's more about I'm in tune with me. And the way, right, the way you perceive yourself is the way others perceive you too. So if you wanna be, my mother called it slouchy, you wanna be slouching your hair all over your head and, wear a bonnet to Walmart or, whatever people do, but that's your own thing and it's your own business. But, don't expect, anything great coming out of it. And you'll see a difference if you look great, you'll actually feel great. Sometimes looking decent is medicine, especially with me. I mean, sometimes I wake up, my knee hurts because I had knee surgery years ago, but my knee still hurts. So, but sometimes when I wake up and I put on something, put on some clothes, feel pretty good, I forget about my knee hurting. I keep right on going. So yeah, it matters to that person. Your inner self just heals if you do you. You'd be surprised what type of medicine it makes you feel so good when you do you. Just do you. So are there any more questions or comments?
Good morning, Miss Peggy. This is Miss Cookie Marie. I don't have a question. I just have a comment because what you were talking about this morning, I was talking not to my daughters, but to my son. I told my son, I said, son, you need to be able to look at you. You need to make sure that you are right. He has this little girlfriend and she's doing things that I know that's not right. He feels it's not right. Mama, I gotta always do this. I said, wait a minute, step back. I know that he's 27. So I said, I know that you think you're not supposed to be at home with your mother. And believe me, your mother don't want you home with her. But I'd rather for you to come home and get you together and know who you are so that when you get the mate, she will be more compatible with you and not drain you. And I can remember in me coming up, it was reversed, as you were saying. We wouldn't have to worry about stuff like that, But now I look at this generation, this younger generation, and the ladies are not looking for just someone, as you said, to fulfill them. They want somebody to take care of them. And if they can't do the same for you, you're not equally yoked. If they're just going to church, I say, don't let anybody take your relationship with God from you.
That's
just
right.
Just because vagina is talking to you, you listen to Christ first. And I was telling him that, and then you just kind of reiterated, I'm going to send this to him because sometimes people hear you talking and they don't hear you, but when they hear someone else say it, they can hear that. And I was telling you got to make sure that you're taken care of. So when you get that mate is compatible for you and it doesn't drain you. You don't want to be sad. You don't want to be uncomfortable just because you think she's all pretty and all of that and this, but as soon as you get with her, she wants you to come and run and stay with her. If she wants you to come and run and stay with her, that means she wants you to come and pay her bills. You keep what you got, And so I was just thinking as you were speaking, I said, this is an awesome nugget for men and women. I know there's some, it's mostly ladies on the line, but I just want to commend you because this is for both. because I had daughters and sons, and this is definitely for both. And I thank you for it. I tell them all the time, if you pull your pants up, your attitude will come up.
That's correct.
You know, if you pull your pants up, your altitude will come up. You can't just cause she like men, they run around with her with their pants down. Don't you change your style.
That's right. That's correct.
That's
correct.
You wear underwear under your pants. Let them stay there.
That's right.
I thank you for that. It is definitely a reiteration of what I had the conversation with my son yesterday evening. God bless you, sister. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. And a lot of times with ladies, like with I had 2 girls. I did raise 4 boys and another girl for my brother when he passed. But with my girls, I made sure, I didn't let them think at all. I made sure they got to fly on an airplane several times. I made sure that they knew what a gala was, go out and eat a $50, $100 meal. Made sure that they knew how to walk, how to talk. See, a lot of times, like I was talking about the inner self, a lot of times, I don't know if y'all heard of Barnes and Noble, the bookstore. It's a lot of good nuggets there too. They have a thing. If you think that your language is not good enough, or not, you don't pronounce your words proper enough, or the correct word, or whatever you want to say, or however you want to say it, they got perfect English. They got perfect English information over there that you could buy and use for yourself. How do I know that? Oh, about 40 years ago, I bought me a kit. Back then, it was I don't know what it was, but it was a thing that you could put in your car, a tape that you could put in your car and listen to and repeat. They say repeat after me. And it taught me, while I was going through education, while I was going through college, it taught me how to speak. One of my bosses, vice presidents, she told me one day, she says, you're not going to only be a biology professor one day. One day you're going to be, you're going to be in administration, and you need to do this and you need to do that. And she was just giving me a list of nuggets that I need to do for me. My mother, both of my mothers, they were sisters, they could dress. So I already knew how to put clothes on. But it was, you need to know more than how to put clothes on. You need to know how to walk. You need to know how to talk. You need to know how to present yourself. It's a whole lot of little bitty things that girls that's not even kin to you that can teach you. But you have to allow yourself and embrace those type of people. Don't think they're beating on you or trying to be negative towards you. They love you, especially if they older black women if they don't, they should love younger black women. They ought to be able to want to pull their hands and bring them through, because, they got to know. And as far as guys, they must know. They need to know how to cook, clean, have their own money, pay their own bills. They need to know all of this stuff before they leave their mom's house. They need to know that. But, as far as both of them, men and women, know how to take care of yourself first. And my girls didn't leave. My oldest was 28. She was working on her PhD. When I told her, move across the street because you're old enough and you are making good money. Move across the street. So I cut all the utilities, furnish the house, and put out in a nice way. But they have to know how to pay their own bills, and you have to help them too. Help your children. Show them how. Give them all you got. Does it hurt sometimes? Of course it does. But is it worth it? Of course it is. In the end, I told you earlier, greater comes later. It gets greater later. My life is great. But that was by the grace of God. My life is great. And I know that. So you have to know that God is just right there, and you have to know who you are. And your children, you have to take care of your children before they leave the house. That way they'll know, girl or boy, they'll know that they have to be responsible. Give them responsibilities before they leave. Let them know you're not going to be paying all them bills up there, out there, or wherever. They are responsible for their own bills, because you're going to get older, and you don't want your kids to be thinking that you're going to send them $500 or $1,200 a month to pay for stuff. You got to get them up, but by the same token, you don't want them to run into some young lady or some young man that she have to take care of, or he have to take care of. Let them be able to take care of each other if needed. If something happened to my husband right now, I can pay these bills. If something happened to me right now, he can pay these bills. And you want to be able to say that. And you want to be able to feel that. You don't want to go to bed at night stressed out. But it's your choice, and it's the choices that you make. I mean, if you're gonna be stressed out, you might as well be by yourself. If I got to be worried about everything around this house, I might as well stay here with Jesus, because guess what? He and I are the greatest buddies ever. I mean, we can pay bills, so we've done it before, by ourselves. So it doesn't make any sense for you to be worried about stuff if it's two, because two's supposed to be better. Two's supposed to be better. And you just have to know that. And if it's not better, it's not two. It's one plus a negative one, which still leave you one. So know your math. Know your math, because it's supposed to be two. And when it get with two, that two's supposed to come into one. Y'all supposed to come together real strong. And what's yours is his, and what's his is yours. But it's supposed to be compatible. It doesn't belong to just one person. Bill, just like money belongs to you, well, the bills do too. All of that stuff, all in the same ingredient bowl. But you have to understand you and what you want, and it's your choice to make you happy. Your joy and your peace, well, it means the world to me. I feel good. I can go to sleep at night. I can wake up with a smile every morning, and I do. So, and you have to, whatever you want and whatever you choose to do, that's what you do. But I just hope you do it for the better of you in your life with Christ. That's
Right.
all. That's what you got to do,
I totally agree, sister. That's what I was telling my son. Give her that house, and you come back here and get your own other house. Because she done moved her in, and she ain't doing nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a rent house, so you go somewhere else and let her take care of that. That you made a bad choice, you sit down and you talk to her, and if all she wants you to do is take care of her, and she's not able to take care of you, there's nothing wrong with her. She can work. So she needs to work. Y'all not married. Y'all shouldn't even be shacking together. You didn't never see me. I'm like you. I never shack. So you don't decrease your standards just because that look good.
Well, I've always said that if long as I'm a person that like to grow, I don't like to get on a job and just leave the status quo. If it's on this level, I want to bring it up as high as I can bring it. Even in any relationship, even in marriage, if I'm already doing great and I marry you, I need to do greater. It's a difference. So I'll grow with you, but I'm not gonna go down with you. If I see you don't want anything and you just go in a totally different direction, I'm not gonna go with you, whether it's right or wrong. I'm not going down with you. Love is one thing. Going down and struggling hard again is another thing. I know what struggle is. I know what struggle is. I know what having something is. I know what not having money and having money is. And either way, you have to stay humble. But I just refuse to go down with you. I'm not gonna go down with you. No, if you want to grow, let's go. I'm ready to run with you. I'm gonna tag you. We're gonna do it. But I'm not gonna go down. I'm not gonna go down with you. I mean, I've always said that. So if she's not working, that's a negative one. That's clear, very clear. She's a negative one. So he needs to know that he's a one, and he needs to know that 1 + 1 = 2. Things of that nature. And if she's not pulling like he's pulling, there's no compatibility there. Not growing. I mean, they won't grow. They won't grow. I mean, they would grow, but they probably would grow slowly. And
totally.
He'll grow slowly. Things of that nature. So, that's why I say don't fall in love with somebody at first. Don't fall in love with them. Start watching them and checking them and just like them. You can like them a lot. But don't fall deeply in love with you gotta have them yet. Check them out and get to see. Let their banana peel. Let their banana peel, so you can really see who they are, because you're gonna be with him. You're not gonna be with his mother and father. I married a guy one time because I loved his mom and daddy. Ain't that something? And I said, I got like my mama. My mom said, well, he come from good breeded people. Well, that's also too. And I know for a fact he came from good breeded people. Didn't mean that he's like his mama or he's like his daddy. Didn't mean that at all. Surely it didn't mean that, because I could see that. I married him. So no, you can't marry somebody because they got good breeded folk, but you do sometimes, and you fall in love a lot quicker than you really should. How do I know? Because I've done this. So it's no good, and it's not healthy for you. It lingers your life. Have you heard the old term as a man will take all your youthhood from you? When he leaves, you too old. People used to talk like that. But see, if you know better, you'll do better. You won't sit there for 10 years, 5 years, 15, 20 years, and let your life linger like that. Versus you need to just, get up and keep moving. You have to make choices. Choices in your life matters. And as long as you got God, it doesn't matter whether you stayed married 100 years or you divorced and married again. It doesn't matter. If you got God with you, He will fix it. He will fix it. So no, if you have God, it's gonna work. It doesn't have no choice. You don't make mistakes. So if He's going with God, you don't trade God in for nobody. Nobody's that important. Nobody's that big, and you have to recognize that. But I'm done for today, and if you all done, I'm done. I won't bring up another subject. And it's been good, and I've certainly enjoyed it. So thank you for everything.
Amen. Wonderful job, Miss Peggy. If you'll just go ahead and close us out, whether in prayer or with your final words, we'll be ready to dismiss this morning.
Okay, well, Lord Jesus, thank you for waking us up this morning with our life, health, and strength. Lord, as we prolong this day, give us a joyful day, Lord. Don't let no one take our peace. Lord, be with us all. If we're aching, Lord, heal the aches. And, if things are going on in our lives, Lord, be there with us, be in front of us. When we speak, Lord, speak through us. Lord, just help us in every area of life that we need. In Jesus' name we praise, amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Miss Peggy. We love you, girl. We love you to death.
Bye-bye.